Good evening, everybody. We got Raymond Lyons, Carter Derry Jr., Wilson Tarpe Jr. Welcome to Within the Madness. Final four edition on the women's side. There are two very good games tonight. Know we enjoyed them both earlier this evening. First matchup, yeah, Stanford and South Carolina. Stanford beat South Carolina 66-65. Big game from Haley Jones. 24 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Leah Boston led South Carolina with 11 points, 16 rebounds, and 1 assist. So, Cardell and Ray, want to ask you guys, what you guys think about the first part of the Final Four this evening?
Oh, you were.
Man, yeah, you mentioned Haley Jones, but Lexi Hall, she was huge. Man, this, like you said, man, these were two great games, great freaking games, man. But with Stanford and South Carolina, I mean, Aaliyah Boston, she's just overwhelming. Stanford kind of dealt with her by committee. Of course, they got Cameron Brink. She was a presence defensively in the interior. But yeah, man, they just did it as a group. Offense, they a lot of times they was, kind of confusing South Carolina with the fake handoff, then hitting somebody on the back door. And they just executed well, man. They competed defensively. It was a good recipe for a win. And, going down the stretch, South Carolina just lost on a bad bounce on a putback, and sometimes that's what it comes down to. But Stanford made the plays, and like in a game like this, so evenly matched, every missed opportunity is that much more costly. Both teams are executing, both teams playing really well. It's not like you just had one team that was firing on all cylinders and the other team just, didn't have anything to match. Every time Stanford made a play, South Carolina came right back. Same thing. South Carolina makes plays, Stanford hits right back. So this just came down to who made the last play. And, fortunately for Stanford, they were able to get it done. Two teams, the defense, man. Like I'm glad we're seeing a lot of teams just locking up, competing on that end. I mean, it's great to watch. We talked a lot about South Carolina's 3-point shooting early in the tournament. They were struggling. The last few games they were hitting. And, that's something that came handy for them this game, the start of the third quarter. They came out, firing. Zai Cook, she had a great game. She made Stanford change things up a little bit. They had to extend the defense to, so she wasn't walking in the threes anymore. And her patience as well and her decision making, a lot of times we'll see players get hot like that and then they'll just kind of fire one off for a heat check. She wasn't about that, and she used screens, get the ball to Boston and get it on a pitch back. And then I think it was one play, can't remember if it was the second or third quarter, but she reset about 3 or 4 times and then drove to the lane and kicked it to the wing to Destiny Henderson for a wide open one. I just thought her decision making was awesome. And yeah, she just played a great game overall. Destiny Henderson, she hit some big shots as well. They were Stanford was kind of living with her getting them, which was a little confusing, but hey, it was working for a time. But then, she started hitting and Stanford had to readjust again. But yeah, man, all around great game. Haley Jones, she did her thing. Cameron Brink, like I mentioned before, she was terrific on the defensive end. And yeah, man, shout out to them. The final is going to be great.
Cardell?
Like Raymond said, 2 well-coached teams, 2 great teams. I just feel like Stanford executed a little bit better. And that ended up being kind of the difference in the game. They were more efficient with their execution. These type of games, man, come down to little things, and you don't really recognize the difference in those little areas until you check the box score after the game, especially if you came up short. And one thing I'm looking at right now is the free throw shooting. South Carolina shot 8 for 12. Stanford shot 11 to 12. And you lost by one. So everything else is pretty much even.
All right, then we should get Cardell back in a minute. But yeah, I'll probably chime in just a little bit. The little things was the theme of the night for the most part. In both games, definitely in the first one. With like you said about Destiny Henderson, they were kind of sagging off her, man. Lee has a whole lot to deal with down there, but Cardell's back. Go ahead, Cardell. I know you talk about the little things, but you get back to it.
I was just saying the little things. Stanford shot 11 to 12 from the free throw line, and South Carolina shot 8 to 12. And South Carolina lost by one. It's when you got two top teams like this, two elite teams, two well coached teams, two talented teams like this. I mean, those little things. Whoever won those little things, those little areas, they get the W, and that's what Stanford did. They had a couple more assists as far as 11 to 9, which means their ball movement was more crisp. I also thought Stanford's size inside bothered South Carolina in the first half. They're not used to being smaller. I mean, outside of Leah, Stanford threw Cameron Brink 6'4". The Hull twins, both of them 6'1", and Haley Jones 6'1". That's a WNBA's front line. You know what I mean? I mean, Boston's big, but the rest of South Carolina, especially on the perimeter, they're small. So if Boston don't rebound, I mean, she don't get the board or whatever, it's hard. It's hard for South Carolina to control the game if she's not dominating them. Don't get me wrong, she got busy tonight. I mean, she didn't shoot well, but 11 points and 16 rebounds and 4 blocks. She still made her presence felt. You know what I mean? They still felt her. So it was a dogfight inside. Battling Brink and the whole twins, but I mean the Lowell twins, but. The difference is it was the size advantage on the perimeter. Now, Zia Cook, she made up for it with her scoring. She was torching those girls, you know what I mean? She was going off, and that's why the game was close. And then Henderson woke up late in the game, made some big shots. I just feel like the execution, especially late in the game, man, you had two bunnies. You had two. You know what I mean? You couldn't ask for better shots. If Dawn Staley couldn't drew up a better play, like it. I mean, if you would have said, look, you down by one and you're going to get two cracks at it point blank, and one of them's Boston, she'd be like, I'll live with that. Because I know we're going to make one of them at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, if no set defense, you done it, and y'all missed both from heartbreak. I know people going to look at the kickball. You know what I'm saying? It's similar to, the Baylor game. You know what I mean? Like, Baylor and Utah game. Look, the rest were subpar all game. That's not why. So it ain't changed. Nothing changed. It ain't like they were excellent and they just missed that call. They were subpar and they missed a lot of calls. Trust me. So that wasn't it, man. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Stanford had the lead for stretches, and South Carolina would get down by 2, get down by 4, and they were struggling to finally get over the hump. They couldn't get the stops consistently to beat Stanford. That's on them. Like they finally got the lead, but I still wasn't confident because like y'all been struggling to hold them down for spurts. With Stanford, when South Carolina jumped on Stanford, all of a sudden Stanford woke up and South Carolina didn't score for like 6 minutes. They had them locked up. So once again, we go back to defense wins championships. Stanford's defense was a little bit better overall than South Carolina's. That's how they won.
Yeah, and we're going to continue that theme into the second game of the night too.
Lord.
Like it's really simple. I saw some folks talking about UConn being shook. So let me jump out there as a proud UConn fan. Don't give them that out. Don't do that. Don't do that. Some of y'all been building this group up for a year. I'm gonna tell you, and I think Cardell could definitely vouch. A lot of people that know me privately and personally. If you hear me screaming out loud about UConn all year, I feel good about it. If I'm quiet, it's usually a good reason I'm quiet. Some of the reservations that kept me from liking this team, they reared their ugly head tonight. I saw Arizona come out there tonight. They were like, they set the tone from the opening tip. We're tougher, stronger. We're not rocking. I saw
So
I saw a couple UConn players fight back, and those were the babies. And Kristen, I'm sorry, Kristen and the babies were willing to fight. Look, man, don't say they were shook. I want to hear that because they weren't shook down the stretch against Baylor. So don't write something like, oh man, they were fine then. They weren't shook. They just got right. They got out physical. They got punked to a degree. Like let's call it what it is. And the babies, some of them physically don't have their bodies physically ain't built to fight back yet. So I'm gonna let them rock a little bit, but the rest of them are babies. That front line, nah, dog. That's why I felt like that all year long. I remember going to the tournament. I told Cardell, if one of the babies doesn't get inserted into the front line, they ain't got a chance. I don't know if Gino heard me, or maybe I accidentally got a piece of what he was planning for the tournament. But one of Leah Edwards was inserted to the starting lineup as soon as postseason play started. You want to know why? Because they needed it. That's the dog in the front court. They ain't got nothing else. As you saw tonight, Arizona was like, no, ain't nobody fight back. Leah was down there being a Leah, but I ain't gonna name no names or nothing, but it was real sweet out there. Arizona did what they want. You got Ari McDonald and other guards down there, 8 boards. You were the bigger team. Like you guys were just talking about with South Carolina and Stanford. South Carolina, that was an out-of-body thing. They're not used to teams bigger than them. Connecticut, you got a 6'6", 6'3", whatever you want to call it. Y'all have had that height all year. You gotta call it, you gotta be accountable, take the fan hat off and call it what it is. Arizona dominated this game. They deserve every bit of this game. I have no issue with it at all. I hope they continue. I'm looking forward to a fun national title game, but don't do that whole they were shook thing. I refuse to do that. And it's also a common trait that the last 4 teams, the last 3 iterations of Connecticut that have made it to this point. There's a reason they get to this point and haven't went past it. You can change some of the people, but it's look, man, getting out dogged. It is what it is, and there's not another way to say it. But shout out to Arizona, 69-59 over Connecticut. Ari McDonald continue her tear, 26.7 rebounds, 2 steals. Kristen Williams, 20 points, 5 rebounds. But I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. I'm off my soapbox for the night.
I feel like Arizona had more spirit, man. I'm not even gonna say more heart, all that. Sometimes it ain't even about your heart; it's about your spirit. Like spirit, man. If you can't break that, it's hard to beat. You can't beat a person. They don't go nowhere. You could tell Art McDonald was motivated by all the press clippings for, say, a freshman on the UConn side. You could just tell because when she guarded Paige back on a milk carton. I mean, she was ferocious. I mean, Denial couldn't even get the ball. You see what I'm saying? And that after UConn up now, somebody else got to step up and do something. And you could tell other players weren't comfortable. They were all out of sync. And then once she took the main piece off the board, the team defense was, elite. It was great. They were ferocious. They made every rotation, help side. Man, it was like UConn was like, hold up, yo. Is it like 10 was on the court? That's how they look. Like, yo, I know I ain't seeing double. What is going on? They turn the corner. It's like two women there. They pass it back out. Nah, we back over here. They took everything away from UConn. They made UConn have to go to their 3rd or 4th options damn near the whole game. Now, Paige hit some tough shots because she's a tough player. Like you said, the baby's fault. She was one. But physically, she ain't ready. I saw Ari McDonald, who's a little guard, post up Paige, size her up, drive. They made contact. Paige hit the floor. Ari McDonald just hit a step back jumper. That's senior strength. That's what the weight room's for. That's why, you see transfer. You see a lot of underclassmen, they transfer and stuff like that. Yeah, it's the reason why the coaches trust those upperclassmen. They've been through these wars before. They're battle tested. They're smarter. They're stronger. You can't get away with the same things with them that you could get away with you young guys. So that's what you saw. Paige is gonna be fine. We know that. You know what I'm saying? She going. I'm pretty sure she knows she got to hit the weight room, get her body ready because yeah, they were physical. And the one thing I like what Arizona did, they didn't just let Paige get away with not really guarding nobody. They saw her out, especially in the second half. They saw her out. They got pick and roll actions. They went at her. They would you gonna get fatigued. You gonna have to play. You gonna have to play basketball both ends. And I like that. That's what you're supposed to do because what Eric, you could tell what Arizona was saying is, I don't think anybody else on UConn is able to step up and beat us. This is not UConn, with Maya Moore. This is not UConn with Stewie. It's not UConn with Tarazzi. This ain't that type of UConn. They not loaded like that. I got a couple pieces here and there, but it ain't like damn man, they got 5 to 7 WNBA players going in the first round. What is this? Like it ain't like that no more. So shout out to Arizona, man. Like Ari McDonald, she set the tone, man. She was John Wick. I mean, she went John Wick on them. Like once she put her neck on it, once she put her foot on their neck, she didn't let up. She was relentless. She was determined to get this win. And even the first quarter, you held UConn 10 points in the first quarter. I can't even recall a time that has ever happened. Not the UConn women's, maybe the men's lately, but the women's is just. I don't know if that's ever happened. We gotta go back. Maybe before the Geno times, you know what I'm saying? Maybe. But that's a long time ago. I just feel like they were just bigger, stronger. They were just better across the board, man. Even though UConn made a run late, that's you're gonna expect that Geno gonna push them and stuff like that, make adjustments and whatnot. But they had the best player on the floor, and their role players played better than UConn's role players. Brees 11 points. She didn't get a lot of rebounds, but she contributed. Thomas 12 points. Like you said, 5 rebounds. Like you said, little guards, Puello coming off the bench, 8 rebounds. She only scored 2 points, 1 for 4. But those 8 rebounds are rebounds that UConn didn't have. You know what I mean? Like it mattered. You see what I'm saying? Yini, like you said, their guards, Arizona guards, out rebounded with the exception of Edwards. They pretty much matched or out rebounded UConn's bigs. I can't remember the last time you see like that don't happen though. Not like it's a standard, man. So yeah, they got reinforcements coming. We know that, but Arizona was just a better team tonight, man. So they deserve to win. Straight up, they was better from start to finish. Period.
Right.
Ari McDonald, man, like she Mighty Mouse. Like she was not playing with them people at all. Like and for everything that she does on offense, like damn all that scoring, her defense, man. Yeah. She was not letting Paige breathe. She was picking her up 94 feet even if she ain't had a ball. Like she was in her jersey. And Paige probably never seen nothing like that before until tonight. And the response is pretty much what you would expect from a freshman, with the experienced player guarding them. So like Khalil said, Paige will be fine, man. It's just a learning experience. And she continued to fight. At times she did kind of go ghost, but I can imagine them legs got a little heavy because Ari was in her jersey, and then on the other side, like you said, they was hunting her out. Like you wasn't letting her get a chance to catch her breath. So yeah, man, getting a little more shape, get a little stronger, and come back next year. But Arizona had a perfect game plan. They executed it to perfection. Like both of you pointed out, they were just the tougher teams. Like I got in my notes, UConn getting rough. It was kind of like what we saw from Texas and Maryland. Maryland players hitting the floor a lot, grabbing their ankles and just looking like they was getting beat up. And that's what Arizona did tonight, man. They out physical them like by a mile. And it's hard when when the game gets mucked up a little bit and it's not just skill for skill, and you just add a physical component to it that you're just incapable of matching. And that's what Arizona did, man. Like y'all talking about the guards out rebounding the bigs. you're going to lose that game, like plain and simple. You know, so yeah, shout out to them, man, and you could tell by the post game interviews from Ari and the coach, like they noticed, man. They noticed they don't like being taken for granted. And they just came to show that they deserve some respect, and they damn sure got it tonight. Because man, like UConn, they just got bulldozed, man. You know, and we're seeing that, you know, some of the things that Wilson said, they kind of reared their ugly heads last game too against Baylor until D. Rich's injury. You know, so yeah, man. Wilson, they need you on the sideline up there, dude. Like,
Nah, he good. Nah, he don't need me. Nah, he good.
See, Wilson be playing this little game. He be quiet in public, but if you know him behind the scene, them girls will transfer about that, John dog. The transfer portal will be heavy, dog. He might use the B word. You playing like that be the end of his coaching career.
Look,
I know
all I know, you know, during this postseason, I've took time to get familiar with the incoming the post players that they have coming, because there's a need. There's minutes to be had, if you will. So, you know, hope they're ready to come in and contribute. That's it. You know,
And the thing, like you said, Raymond, you brought up Maryland. The one thing about Maryland, I did like, you know, they lost their composure. You could tell they cared. Like they wanted to win. They lost their composure. Like, but UConn had to look like, ow, that hurt. Like, you know, like the famous quote Mike Tyson said, "Everybody has a plan till they get hit." You know, that's they like, ow, whoa, that. Like they get hit, and looking back at Arizona like, they down low, like let's go, let's keep, you know, like Paige ain't hit the floor that much her whole freshman year. She ain't hit the floor like that. They was bumping, and she was like, oh nah, dog, like what is going on? So you see the leader get knocked on her butt. Oh, you know the role players. I'm like, nah, I don't want that smoke. You know, until Gino probably lit into them, then they try to wake up, but it's too late. Now they got confidence and stuff. And like you said, the same thing with Baylor. The difference is Arizona got Ari McDonald. She controlled the game. Yeah, she was torching homegirl from Baylor, I forget her name. She was killing and stuff like that, but she wasn't controlling the game. She was just getting buckets. Ari, she was getting buckets sometimes. No, I'm gonna run some clock, run this offense, get some of my teammates some shots. You know, she just controlled the whole game, man. And Paige get there, you know what I'm saying? When she do, I know AZ coming, so that's the dynamic that, you know, Gino want to figure out who run the show. He might just let them both do their thing, but, you know, take turns and whatnot. But when they master that aspect, when they can control the game, it's going to be hard to beat UConn, even with subpar bigs, because they going to know how to maximize those bigs. That's the one thing about Paige. Like, she young, man. She a freshman. That's why you got to be careful putting that much hype on a freshman, because they don't know what they don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? It's tough. You know, she put up numbers and did a lot of damage. You gave her player of the year. That made her a bigger target. And you could tell Ari McDonald was like, yo, what, you serious? Like, you know, that I can tell when it is different. You know what I'm saying? Because she was up in her, like you said, 94 feet. You know, even when Paige gave up the ball, trying to move it out the ball, slam, they was doing dribble handoffs. Ari was still with her. Like, she didn't let her breathe, man. She was, where you going? They ain't know what to do. Nelson, what's her name? The center for UConn, Olivia Nelson Odota, that's her name?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When she couldn't get the ball to Paige, she panicked. She was at the top of the key, just like, somebody come get this. I don't know what to do, man. And that was just defense. Like, I saw Ari McDonald deny the ball for Paige. They couldn't get it to her. I think Edwards tried to drive, but they rotated like they was doing all game. They made her pass. She passed. Ari McDonald double back, knocked the ball loose, and they stole the ball. Like, she was all over the floor. And the thing, I was like, well, is she gonna get tired? She didn't get hit. Like, she didn't get fatigued. So that's 40 minutes. You know, like they ready, man. They trying to win the chip. It's gonna be a great game because Stanford tough. Stanford tough, man. But
That game's
they
gonna be
gonna
great.
Yeah, it is.
Like that game's gonna be great. Like that game's gonna be so much fun. Because you got two teams who understand how to control the tempo, and the way they both strap on the defensive end, it's gonna be huge. And then all I was just my parting shot on Connecticut is y'all can't. Yeah, I get it's Connecticut. You can't give all them that blind pass. They gotta earn that. As far as I'm concerned, stuff been like everything post Stewie. They gotta
earn
earn that.
earn in this area. You mean they gotta earn players to earn stuff in this area? Okay.
Hey, look, man. That's what I'm saying. You so
All words enough.
hey, look. You see the streak. You see the consistent streak, right? You get to the same point, can't get over the hump. Somebody else, it was 4, 1, 2, 3. They was counting them things out.
Not one,
Not
Yeah.
2, not 3.
not
Like
three.
that's
I mean, he's right. It's a standard at UConn, man. You can't even begin to be talked about. Honestly, you got to win a couple. You got to at least
Yeah,
win.
at least 2.
You win one. That's like that's good. That's cute. I mean, okay. You know,
and
congrats.
that's where I'm at with it. Like everyone's going all crazy, like, oh, it's a good UConn team. Nah, it's just UConn. It's not a good UConn team. It's UConn with the babies are the best players on the roster outside of Kristen. It's one junior and 2 babies. That's it, man. And like Cardell, what did you just say? They took away one of the babies is the first option. They took her away, and everything went to shit.
And that's how you know she's tough because she had to hit tough shots to get points, man. Nothing was easy. It was like a couple breakdowns where she got easy lay-ins, or 3. She had to hit tough shots over there, man. So she gonna be fine, man. You know what I'm saying? But now that she done got this experience, it should be held next year, especially with AZ. You know, I like Poffenberger that's coming too from the area. You know what I mean? So. You know, y'all obviously y'all got some recruits, but it's different now because the talent pool in women's basketball is getting deeper and deeper every year. Like, I mean, you see teams just popping up. I mean, you see teams that's popping up mid majors and stuff that's tough. They're hell to deal with. You know what I mean? It's not just Tennessee, UConn. You might get Baylor, Notre Dame, and then that's it, or South Carolina, and that's it. And Stanford been in the mix too for years. And it's just that 6, and that's it. It ain't like that no more. So you got to bring it. Look at Iowa, Caitlin Clark. She's a freshman. They build around her. You know, Maryland got their hands full. They got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? They got to deal with that. You know what I mean? So
The run Indiana made. Like,
thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Exactly.
like,
That's a big
there's
thing.
teams all over the place, like you just said.
Tennessee was
Pool
tough. Mississippi was tough. Georgia was tough. That's SEC. You know, ACC. You got NC State, Louisville. They always at the top. Like it's real. I mean, look, the Pac-12 is a national championship, so now they run women's college basketball. They're the class. You got all Pac-12 national championships. So the Pac-12, it's real, man. So they not. Certain teams just not tripping off the name UConn no more like it was back in the day, man. And you got to show us. That's the mentality. You got to show us. We don't care nothing about that. That's ESPN. They're gonna do what they gotta do to get their little ratings. They still stuck in the past. They don't know no better. They don't watch anyway. But we want all the smoke, and that's what Arizona said. We want that.
Yep. Like, what's it called? I'm gonna pull a Ray. Like Patino game. Stewie ain't walking through that door. Mike ain't walking through that door. Like, what's it called? They have to go earn the right to be treated the way some of y'all are treating them, and they haven't earned it. Like, they just haven't earned it. Like, trust me, I'll be the first one. When they back, I will publicly let y'all know, but it ain't yet. It wasn't this year. This was a nice little jump off point. But again, we got a great national title game coming this weekend. Need everybody to tune in. I'm happy, kind of like the timeline's been watching it together, and people get an opportunity to really enjoy the women's game. And I hope all those that kind of just started, enjoying it through the tournament, carry that over to the WNBA and just keep up the viewership. Because got this horrible misconception that nobody watches and all this other crap when what's it called? The last couple nights, that's all we've been seeing over the timeline everywhere is the end of these games and people comments and everything else. So Just
It's
keep
basketball,
at it.
man. If you
Yeah.
claim you love the game or you a hooper and all that, blah blah. If it's basketball and it's good quality basketball, you're gonna watch it. Hell, no disrespect. If you watching the NBA, you damn sure should watch some women's college basketball. The quality is 10 times better. I'm seeing teams on the women's starting to get beat by 20, 30, 50 points all of a sudden. Like, yeah, well, this a whole nother show. We ain't even gonna get into it. Let's
Nah.
look.
You're
These
right.
dudes ain't built for that old school grind. Let's just say that because I see it. They done. They tapped out, dog.
Yeah, man.
It's better than whoop their ass, but it's a whole other show.
Want to
Whoop
thank
their
y'all
ass.
for hanging with us tonight. Again, we'll be back tomorrow night for Wizards Outlook, and Within the Madness, the men's Final Four edition. Then obviously we'll be with you guys for the championship nights, for both the men's and the women's respective games, and then we'll do something fun on both those championship nights. Carl had the idea we're gonna share like our personal like all Within the Madness teams. So we'll have 5 players on both the men's and the women's side that made our personal list. And I'm interested to see how many people ended up on the same list, or if the lists are all different. That's going to be fun too because there's some tough choices to be made on both sides. Some tough choices. See
I
people.
know on the men's side, at least one person gonna be on everybody's list.
It's some easy ones. Who you talking about? Timmy?
Timmy, or 2, Timmy and Max Abmas.
Jeremy of basketball. Yeah. He definitely.
We want to thank y'all for being with us tonight, man. Y'all have a great evening. We'll be back tomorrow again for Wizards Outlook and Within the Madness, the men's Final Four edition.